everyone, I'm Lora Harris, Realtor powered by Fathom Realty. So I wanted to bring you a lot of education and some knowledge today. I talked to a lot of people that are interested in buying a home or know that they want to buy a home, but they just don't really know how to get started or where to start with the mortgage process. So I brought in an expert today, Catt Fleetwood, and she's going to answer for us the top 5 commonly asked questions about mortgages. So really is going to give you a good starting point, and it'll probably generate some more questions, which is fine, but we're going to cover the top 5 today. So I'm going to let Catt tell you just a little bit about what she does and the company that she's with, and then we'll get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Catt. I'm a mortgage loan officer at Fairway Mortgage, and I've been doing it for about 5 years, almost 6 years, somewhere like that. So,
awesome.
Yep.
That's excellent. So Catt is a local lender. Her office is right here on 6 Forks Road. So
we're in my office.
We are in her office today, coming to you live. So we'll go ahead and get jumping right into the questions. So we're going to count down from number 5 to number 1, so Family Feud style. Question number 5 is, what does my credit score need to be if I want to buy a house?
Your credit score is important for a lot of reasons. Not only the score, but the content. Mm-hmm. So generally speaking, we want 580 and above, and it depends on what type of loan program we're doing. But more than anything, it's what's inside the meat of the credit report that matters. So you can have a 650 credit score and no derogatory credit, and that's great. But you can have a 650 credit score and have lates that are recent on credit card payments, and that can be a problem. So essentially, what I like to do is try to coach people on a credit plan if they have, some derogatory or some room for improvement. And I do that for free. It's something that I feel very strongly about, getting my buyers in the most advantageous position. Okay. So I hope I answered that, maybe not.
Yeah.
Credit's important, content's important, but yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of going to depend on what type of loan, mm-hmm. and then where your credit score is coming from.
It depends on what type of loan program, how much you're putting down, all that stuff. So.
Okay, but I don't need a credit score of like 750 to buy a house, do I?
No, you do not.
Okay.
You do not.
Okay, just wanted to debunk that for a second. All right, so question number 4 is, how much do I need for a down payment?
This is another loaded question. It depends on the loan program. So we have 100% financing with certain loan programs like USDA. For a conventional product, you can do 3% minimum. You don't have to put 20% down. I have magical ways to make PMI disappear. And great ways to restructure loans to get them the way that you need them. Okay. So I'm not taking a loan and saying, I'm not selling this product to you. I'm sort of taking your personal situation and finding the product that fits and manipulating it based on what your comfort levels are, what's your desired loan payment, and how much money you have to put towards the transaction, so I can use as little of it as possible, because I like to pad people's pockets and their savings. Okay. It's really important to me.
So how often do you actually do a 20% down payment? Are those days kind of gone?
I don't see them very often at all.
Okay.
Most people don't have, if you have a $250,000 house, most people don't have $50,000 laying around. So, a lot of us are starting up, our families. This is a great place to raise a family, and getting new in your careers and stuff like that. We don't have giant.
Yeah. And student loans.
Student loans
are real, people.
Student loans.
You knew that. All right, question number 3. What type of loan do I need? What type of loan should I apply for?
Oh my gosh, you don't apply for the loan so much as you send in your application, and your loan officer finds the loan that fits your needs.
Okay.
You don't want to go into something expecting, I think I need an FHA loan. I definitely want an FHA loan. And then have me say, no, FHA isn't really, I've got a better option for you.
Yeah.
It's better to just let us kind of do the guiding, give you your options and stuff like that.
Okay. So So question number 2 is, when should I start? How far out do I need to start talking to a lender? Do I need to start planning my finances? If I've already made a decision that I want to get a home in the next maybe 6 to 12 months, that's when my lease is up. When do I need to start having those conversations?
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Starting as early as possible so that you have, if there are any hiccups, you have those taken care of, you have a plan, you know how much money you need, you know everything to expect. I mean, loans are going to have, when you go into the process, they're going to be different. There's going to be a little different snags here and there sometimes, but when you have an idea of what you need and you can plan for it, that's it. So people are sometimes like, oh, I don't want you to pull my credit. I don't,
Yeah.
Like, well, we have to pull your credit to know the full story.
Yeah.
So why not, let's pull it now and find out. And that way we don't have to worry about it, later on. Yeah. I love people that start early. I will hold your hand. We will skip through the fields
process
together in the process.
Yeah. Okay.
And you won't have the stress of saying, oh my gosh, my lease is up in 1 month. I need to buy a house right now.
Yeah.
I need to buy a house. And then I say, well, okay.
Yeah. Well, and something to keep in mind as well, that inventory and the market is always changing. So you don't necessarily know that right when you are ready, what the market's going to look like. So just having the flexibility of having the finances in order and having that pre-approval so that if you do see something that's your dream house, you don't miss the opportunity while it's available.
Because it does happen, especially in this market.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and question number 1 is, how do I get started? What is the first step? What is the easy step that I can take? And kind of what goes along with that. So what costs are associated with that, things of that sort.
There is no cost associated with talking to me or any other lender.
Okay.
You don't pay anything up front. There's actually no fee that you pay me at all. That's all paid through the bank at closing. So when you speak to me, you're not going to have, you just go and you answer some questions, just really basic questions. I look over your credit, look over your income documentation and all that stuff. It's absolutely, easy. I don't want to say painless because people sometimes, when you're looking over their finances, it gets a little stressful, but I try to make it as easy as possible. But that's all it is. It's a conversation. It's a conversation about what you want, what you expect, how you feel about things, and then we figure out what you need. Yeah. I think most people get stressed out about that first step. Right. And then once you take it, it's like, oh, this is fine. Right. This is
just
easy.
Getting started.
But you definitely need to talk to a lender before you start looking. Yeah. That's the most important thing. You need to know what you're pre-qualified for and what you can afford. Another thing is, not everybody can afford what they can afford on paper. Yeah. So it's real important to talk about like your comfort levels, what your actual payment is you can afford versus what you qualify for. Right. Because if you say I want a $1,200 house payment, but you pre-qualify on paper for a $300,000 house, well, those two don't match up. So you can't go and look for a $300,000 house and have the payment that you're comfortable paying. Right. So that's my advice.
And that's a great point. And I think just talking about the way that the services work, there's definitely some myths there that we want to debunk as well. So it's the same for working with a buyer's agent. If you have a real estate agent working with you, we're an educator, we're a counselor, we're here to hold your hand and walk you through it. And as a buyer's agent and as the lender, we are of no cost to you to get the process started. So any questions, big or small, or if you just want to kind of sit down and learn about the process and what the next steps are, if it's something that's a goal for you and something that's in the next, 6 to 12 months, if not sooner, just getting more information. So it is scary. It's a large purchase. It's a big decision. But what I will tell you is that knowledge mitigates fear. So the more that you learn about it, the more comfortable you are. And then it's like, oh, that's not that scary. That's not that bad. And it's maybe better than I thought it would be. I'm sure you get that a lot.
I do. And I think it's real important to work with somebody local, especially with, in regards to your lender, because if you're working with somebody remotely, they don't have any idea about what your, like what the economy is like specific to your area, you know, what the climate is, as far as the market and stuff like that. And, you know, when you're working with somebody like me, I'm part of the community. You know, I'm at your grocery store, you know, our kids play together, all, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm invested in you, not, you know, where somebody's sitting in a call center somewhere is not going to be like, oh, I really love these people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And from the real estate agent perspective, same thing. If we have someone local that's easy to access, easy to meet with, you know, in the area. So, you know, that's a great benefit as well. And just something to keep in mind when you're thinking about who you want to work with and taking that first step and contacting. So we are going to leave our information up in the description, and also it'll flash at the end of the video. So like I said, any questions, please reach out, take that first step. No obligation, no cost.
Happy to talk to you about anything. No stupid questions at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that when I first started looking at houses, I was the same way. And don't Google it.
No, don't Google.
Don't Google it. It's just a wealth of misinformation.
It really is.
When it comes to buying a home. Some things Google is great for. This is not one of them.
No, lending either. Loans.
Yeah, so get in touch with, you know, the resident experts. We're happy to help you.
We'll help you together.
We will help you together. But like and comment, you know, if you got some value out of this content, and definitely share it if you know somebody who's going through this and maybe just needs a step in the right direction or has questions that they need answered. So we really appreciate you tuning in. We plan to do more informative sessions like this. So thank you, Catt, for being a guest today.
So
this is a big step for her. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you have an awesome day. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.